Yeah, I'm back on this Enco mill, and I got the motor here, and I thought that there were some kind of passageway through this motor to help cool it, but it seems to be sealed. There's no passageway through it, so I guess it's cooling from the outside, the fins. I was gonna blow some air through it or something, but I took a rag, paper towel, and I just went in between the fins and cleaned them out. I really don't want to blast a bunch of air in it because I don't know where it's going to go, but so I cleaned off the top here and I took this cover off. And usually these covers are filled with dirt and lint and everything else, and back when I was working, the boss, we'd clean the machine every week, and then once a month we'd do a really good cleaning on it, and he'd come over and says, "Hey, is that machine clean?" And I said, "Yeah, it's clean." He'd take his hand and put it on top of the motor or the control panel, and he would just rub it across there and show me all the dirt up there. He was something else. He was a good guy. You always don't like your boss because they're smarter than you, but yeah, I'll never forget that. I always look at that and it reminds me of him. But yeah, it's nice and clean, and the motor's clean. But I wanted to show you this. Well, I don't know if it's a feature or what, but down here there's this one side where this is fits in a hole up there, and this is the handle to move, to pull it back and change belt and then push it forward. Now on this other side there was this pin that fits on the other side, and what I didn't realize until now is that this pin, you have different positions. So if your belt is a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, or there's some places in the country where you can't get the right size belt and you get kind of like a longer one or a shorter one, or you can take this, unthread this pin from this hole and move it into one of these other holes. Now I didn't see that. You can't see that from the bottom side because this is sitting on a plate, and normally you don't get up and look at the top side, and you wouldn't see those holes, but normally I don't get up there and look at it unless you're doing something here with the electrical box. I wouldn't even know they were there. This white stuff is from my gloves. It's I put baby powder on my hands before I put my gloves on, and it keeps it from sticking when they, sometimes you get a little moisture in there and it makes them easier. I used to change gloves quite a bit, and then I learned that I can keep the same pair, just take them off and then use them the next day or a couple days or 3 or 4 days later. It's trying to save a couple of bucks. There's no reason why. I used to work with a guy. He used to, every time he'd do something, he would take his gloves off, do it, come back, get a new pair of gloves, and all it does is cost the company money, but they were paying for it. But at the job, this other job I was, I bought my own, and I bought some gloves. You've probably seen them before, the green ones. That's a new one that Harbor Freight has. And I thought I'd try them. Usually I use the blue ones, the extra large, and I'm happy with the blue ones, but I thought I'd try the green ones. And the green ones, I guess, are their newer ones or made by somebody else, and they're tight. They're tighter than the blue ones. They're really, really snug. and they tear easy because they are so snug. So last time I was there, I bought another pack of blue ones, even though I still have a lot of the green ones left. I really don't like them. I'll use them for stuff where it's a one-time use, but the blue ones, I can use them, and I can take them off, then I can use them again. But anyway, back to this. Yeah, there's two other adjustment holes there, and this is what it looks like on top. There's some kind of snap ring there. And that's the shaft. Yeah, it's a little, I don't know, I won't say corroded, but it's got some kind of crusty thing on there. I mean, it's 24 years old, so I'm sure it's got something. But overall, I wasn't sure what was up here, so I took it apart, and it's only three little screws, and I marked it. I put a mark on it, so it'll go back the same way. Sometimes the screws, they, two are alike and one's different or whatever, but after a while you learn to mark things before you take them apart. But that's what the motor looks like. It's a big old heavy thing, and it's attached to that big thick plate. But yeah, I had the motor on the side and I spun it. It seemed pretty good. I didn't hear any noise out of it. But anyway, you gotta get this thing ready to put this up there. The only thing is that this block and pulley is towards the front of the machine. I had to kick the head over. I loosened those 4 bolts and moved the head over when I put this piece on. But the motor's going to go in the back, and I guess I'm going to have to muscle that over a little bit, but it's a lot better than trying to lift this motor back up there. When we took it apart, had a hard time. Well, we had an easy time getting it off, but it was lifting it from there down to here that was the hard part. And I didn't want Zach to come over and lift this motor back up when I'd rather use this block and pulley to get it back up there. I don't want him hurting himself, and I didn't realize it was that heavy. It's 65 pounds, and so we're going to try to use mechanical means of getting it up there. And of course, once we get it up there, we're going to have to muscle it around, but at least we can keep all the weight off of it. So that's what we got to do now. All right. Talk to you later. Yeah, so I'm going to show you what I did here. These fins stop here. So there's like a undercut inside of here around the motor, except for this area here where this boss continues all the way down. This piece here. These fins, they stop here, so what I do is I wrap this one cord around the bottom, and I put these hooks in there. And what I'm hoping for here is that the undercut here will hold this belt in place, and these hooks grab into this. It's wrapped around twice, and the hooks will hold it, pull it up. I didn't want to I could have hooked on here, but the problem with that is you gotta, you know, the hook is not 90 degrees to the part. It's sticking out like that, and it could bend that piece theoretically. I mean, I thought about getting some kind of 90-degree angle piece and this and that, and I thought, well, this will probably work. I mean, it looks pretty strong. I got it pretty tight. So I got one on one side, I got one on the other side, and of course it comes up to the top, and I put this piece around there to keep it from, you know, moving this way. You know, if this motor shifts, these pieces could go forward or backwards, and then the motor will tip upside down. And I didn't think this was not going to hold these straps at all. I needed to secure that, so I put this AC tape on there. This stuff is good for, it's like the new duct tape. It's like 4 times more expensive, but it works really, really good. So I put a piece here to keep this from shifting, and a piece on the other side to keep it from shifting. And this piece up here, I just looped this from here to this side and just tighten this down. And this is just grabbing on that piece right there. And it seems to work. Oop, came off. Don't want that coming off. Well, there's no tension on it. So I put a little tension on it. So we'll lift it up. It needs to be like over here, but I'm just here by myself setting it up. When I get my helper out here, I'll be able to put that over there and it'll stay. But anyway, it seems to lift it up, so I'm not too concerned about that. And I did slide the head over this way, so it's got a clear shot up, and then I'll slide the head back. The only thing is that I measured from this table to the top of that pulley, and it was like 24 inches. So I measured from the top of the casting to the top of the pulley. It's like 24 inches. And I can't move that pulley up any higher. So when I get it up there, I was hoping to get it up there and just kind of slip it down into the hole, and that's why I didn't want to hook it onto here in any way or here, because I just wanted to drop it straight into the hole so I didn't have to manhandle it. But once I get it up there, it looks like I might have to manhandle it another inch higher. I'll probably try to tip it on its side a little bit. I got to be careful I don't go too far over, because this tape, you know, I only got one piece on each side. But I think once I get it up there, I mean, worst comes to worst, I can just set it up there on the edge. But we'll have to see what happens there. But this looks promising. All right. Let's see what happens.